Hello YouTube! Welcome again to my lunch break. I am Kayla and this is my channel where I am sharing my experiences in my 20s so that we can all get through it together. I know on the channel I usually aim for emotional vulnerability, so listicles like this are a little bit off kilter, but I heard the idea and liked it, so I hope you guys will be open to hearing the things that have actually helped me improve my life long term. I am not perfect. Okay, I'm not an expert at being alive. I don't think any of us are. This is our first time doing it after all. So I'm not perfect. There are certain problems I've noticed a lot of young teens, early 20 people having that I have not really had to experience quite the same way. So hopefully these tips can kind of help you avoid the same problems that you might see your peers going through. The first thing that's really helped me improve my life and hopefully the longevity of my life is meal prepping to eat healthy. Before you click out the video, wait, hear me out. So this started actually quite a while ago, several years ago, when I wanted to just get a healthier diet. I was eating nonsense all the time and I'd read some stats about mortality rates of Black women, and I was just like, okay, we gotta get together, we gotta rein it in. I don't want to die at 60, like come on. So I started trying to eat healthier, and the way that I did it at that time was kind of like a shock therapy, I guess we could call it, where I ate as healthy as I could all at once. But I also didn't want to enter some kind of crazy diet where I would be tempted to crash out of it at the end and not keep it up consistently. So the way that I did it was I would get whatever I wanted for dinner. If I wanted pizza, if I wanted a burger, if I wanted the fettuccine alfredo, whatever I wanted, and that would fill half my plate. The other half of the plate would be vegetables. Same thing for lunch, and for breakfast, the other half of the plate was fruit. I did this every day for 3 months to get myself used to eating healthy. And it turns out eating healthy actually has benefits for your body. I know, we hear it, we hate to hear it, but it's actually true. And it's kind of like waking up early because you went to bed early, right? If you have to wake up at 7 a.m., you go to bed at 1 o'clock in the morning. It feels good going to bed at 1 o'clock in the morning because you played your little game, you watched your little video, you did whatever nonsense you wanted to do at night, and you finally rolled into bed. But when you wake up at 7, it sucks. So you get the instant gratification, but later on it sucks for you. Whereas if you put the game down, if you turn off the TV, if you put up your drawing, if you stop what you're doing at 10 p.m. and go to bed, then when you wake up at 7, you're gonna feel amazing. So it's not instant gratification, but it's still gratifying. That's pretty much how it is with eating healthy. The cake and the cookies and the pizza is going to feel better in this moment, but later on your body's going to feel heavy, you're going to feel unhealthy, you're going to feel sluggish. It's just not really the best. And the more you eat healthy, the more you, number one, can even recognize the results that you see later because they don't happen immediately. You're not immediately satiated and like MSG all over your tongue. It takes a second. So not only can you start to see the later benefit, but your body starts to get used to it and starts to actually crave it. The second one actually goes with the first one in an annoying way. I'm sorry, but it's being physically active. I know, but it's the same concept. It sucks at first, but when your body gets used to it, there are genuinely benefits for your health, for your mind. You know, there are times when I feel frustrated and angry and I want to go and work out, and then you do, and you like kind of work off those feelings. Or I personally like to work out in the evening. A lot of people do in the morning, which like invigorates them for their day. Me, I get tired after a workout. So I work out in the evening so that after a workout, I come home, I shower, I eat, and I'm already sleepy. So I can get a little bit closer to getting into bed at 10 p.m. That's not gonna happen, but someday I'll be a go to bed on time kind of girl. I think one thing that can really help with bringing physical activity into your adult life is doing physical activity that you find motivating or that you find fun. For example, right now I'm not going to the gym. I'm not doing any weightlifting at the moment because I'm focused on other things in my life, and physical fitness isn't number one priority, but it is still a priority. So instead of going to the gym and spending an hour or two lifting weights every day like I used to, I now do a group fitness class after work on Tuesdays. And I like that because I'm usually really bad at cardio, I'm bad at core and like ab training. I'm just bad at it. But having other people around me doing it motivates me. And secondly, I do an hour-long class and then 2 hours of open gym, so in total 3 hours of gymnastics on Fridays. This one's easy for me to do because I've always wanted to do gymnastics since I was a kid. I did it for a season, but I had to quit for reasons my mom does not remember. So I've always wanted to go back, and finally with my adult money, I'm able to do it. And I find it, number one, motivating because I paid a lot of money for it. So yeah, I'm gonna go to class. Yeah. And number two, because it's just more fun. Like, weightlifting is cool. I enjoy it, but gymnastics, like, I'm flipping around, like, hello. So see if there's anything fun that you can do in your area, any classes that you can join to feel motivated by other people, or just find workouts in the gym that you like. If you're not really a cycling girly, but you feel a sense of catharsis on the elliptical, stick to the elliptical. You don't have to do things that don't work for you. The next two on the list also go together, but before we get to that, I have a favor to ask. Could you please scroll down just the teeniest little bit on this video and click the little black button that should be there, unless YouTube changed the layout again, and it says subscribe. It's free to click. You'll be notified of the next time I upload, which will be next week because I'm uploading every single week in February, and it would really help me and the channel out. I am trying to grow it as much as I can. We are almost at 400 subscribers, and I would love to break 500. I would love to break 500 this year. So if you could please go down and press that button, it would really help me out. I'd appreciate it. Thank you for your time. And now let's get on to the next two tips. The next thing I've taken it upon myself to do that has really helped me in life so much is living below my financial means. And all that means is only spending money that I can afford to spend. And at the end of the day, if I calculate all the things I need to buy, like rent and groceries and gas, if we put all of that together, it is well below the amount of money that I make every month. I've been doing this forever, and it has really helped me. Ways in which it has helped me is that my parents were not able to put me through college, so I saved my money and was able to put myself through college, and I graduated debt-free. I did have a scholarship, which really helped, and I did commute because I couldn't afford a dorm, so that hour-and-a-half drive every day was serious business, but I did what I had to do and was able to get out without tens of thousands of dollars of student loan debt, which was great. Another thing is that it's just helped me in my adult life. I decided to move to California after college, which is where I am now. LA specifically, one of the most expensive cities in the country, in the world. So knowing that I was putting myself in that kind of position was kind of rough, but also I had never lived on my own before. So it's not like I knew this great life of living in these high-rise, fancy luxury apartments for $1,000 or $2,000 a month. I didn't have that experience. So coming here and spending the same money on a room in a house where I have 6 roommates, okay, okay, big shift, but I never experienced the high life. So being in the low life kind of just feels like the midlife, because I never got those highs, you know? And it has allowed me to do things like pay for the aforementioned gymnastics class, like have a savings account so that if I get laid off again, hopefully it doesn't happen, but if I get laid off for a third time, I will not be too worried for a while because I have some money to tide me over. If my car breaks down, which is something that I'm starting to plan for because we're at 180,000 miles, if my car breaks down, I will be able to get a new car, not buy it in full, child, but we'll be able to make some moves. If I get sick, hopefully I don't, but if I do, the medical bill will be somewhat feasible on a payment plan, but I am not completely underwater. I can go to the store and see something I want to buy and be able to confidently tell myself, you know what? Spending $20 right now is not going to break the bank. So if I really want that thing, I can have it because I planned ahead, and it is good to do that. If you can, there is a general financial rule called the 50-30-20, where 50% of your money should be spent on the things that you need, like rent. 30% should be spent on the things that you want, like shopping spree, and 20% should be spent on your future. So this is investing in your 401k, a Roth IRA, just general investments if you want to go that route, etc. Me personally, I do more. Actually, I can pull up the exact percentages. Let me find it. Okay. Quick glance, 2024 finances wrapped, where I just went through everything that I spent and I put down what my ratio was, because that is something that I try and keep in mind. So I am, of my check from 2024, about 31% of it was for needs. About 42% was for future investments, and about 28% was for wants. Again, those are about, so it doesn't really add up to 100, but that's about it for me. So instead of 50, 30, 20, I am doing about 30, 40, 30. And doing that just makes my life a lot easier. It makes it so that I'm able to afford things that I actually really want instead of just a little frivolous nonsense. So maybe I won't eat out every week. Maybe I buy new clothes once or twice a year, but I'm able to travel consistently. I'm able to pay for my gymnastics class consistently. I'm able to go home and see my family at least every other year. I'm able to live the life that I want to live rather than trying to keep up with the Kardashians, do little, stuff that I don't really care about, stuff that influencers want you to care about because they'll get paid if you click their links, but I'm not clicking that link because I only spend 30% on the things that I want. So I'm gonna make sure that 30% of my little itty bitty paycheck is going to the things that I actually want. And it's led to greatness. And as I continue to grow, as I continue to increase my income, that 30% will continue to increase. So I'll be able to afford a nicer place to live. I will be able to afford more vacations each year. I will be able to afford maybe to go shopping 3 times a year instead of 2. And it just makes life a lot less stressful to know what you can afford and only spend what you can afford. So the next tip isn't actually something that everybody can do, but keeping these ideas in mind, I think will really help you, even if you're not doing exactly what I did. But this mystery thing that I did that has really helped me, like severely helped me get through my 20s, was getting over a depressive episode. And like I said, it doesn't apply to everybody. Obviously, you can't just enter a depressive episode for the sake of getting over it, for the sake of improving your 20s. But I think the ways that I got over it will really help. So for context, I was really depressed in college. It was really, really bad. Like, it was not good at all. I was in an abusive relationship. Like, it was just not the tea. And so I ended up going to the therapy that my college offered, got some tips, got some takeaways, learned a lot, did a lot of work, and it has stuck. And I want to pass that knowledge on to you guys. So the first thing that I learned about, this was with the help of my therapist, but it is great because it's the kind of thing you can do on your own. You don't really need a therapist there. But it is cognitive behavioral therapy. Now, having a therapist will help. If you have access to that, grab one, girl. Even if you feel fine. Like I said in a vlog I did recently, I have been going to therapy recently, even though I'm not in a depressive episode, even though it's not like chaos, even though I'm mostly okay, I just have some things I want to talk about. So even if you like aren't on the brink of mental collapse, you can still go to therapy. You can still work it out and get to a better place with someone. So cognitive behavioral therapy really helped me when I was depressed. And it's, if I were to summarize it, the idea of understanding that your thoughts are not always right. Your thoughts are not facts. And your thoughts are to like a maybe 80% degree in your control. So if you can just change the way that you think, you can change the way that you feel, you can change the experiences that you're having, and you can change the quality of your life. For example, if you're feeling bad because you feel lonely, you feel like no one wants to spend time with you, right? You can pause and ask yourself, okay, no one wants to spend time with me. Is that true? Did everyone on the planet come to me and tell me they don't want to spend time with me? No. So that might not be true. It might be that I haven't reached out to my friends, and it might be that my family is busy. So that's why no one's spending time with me. So what can I do to change that? I could reach out to my friends. That's really hard. I don't want to do it. I could, and it would help me. So I guess I'll try the hard thing, etc. You just kind of work through, well, not the camera sliding, chill. You just kind of work through what you're thinking and get to a point where you're thinking something better. So I would recommend doing some research on it. Plenty of therapists and psychologists are on YouTube, so you can check out their videos on cognitive behavioral therapy. You can check out some articles and just learn ways that you can essentially gaslight yourself into living a better life. With that comes positive affirmations and gratitude affirmations, I guess we can call them. I used to listen to positive affirmation videos. They have them on YouTube. They'll just tell you, like, I am beautiful, you are great. Like, it just does it on repeat. And it goes hand in hand with cognitive behavioral therapy. It's just that your brain, it accepts the knowledge that you give it and it does with it what it can. So if you're in a bad place, your brain is just doing bad things with the knowledge you gave it. So you want to give it different knowledge, and you want to give it an opportunity to do good things with that knowledge. So hearing positive things about yourself can really help the brain get there. I think the first time that positive affirmations really impacted me were like late elementary school, early middle school. where I grew up in Georgia in an all-white community, and I'm pretty dark, so I was dealing with feeling like I just didn't belong and nobody really cared to be around me. I also have resting bitch face, which was not helping my social life. Like, just in general, I did not feel like I was in place. But eventually, I was able to use these positive thinking that I didn't know I was doing at the time to get to a place where I genuinely felt confident in myself and in my skin, and it has never been an issue since. Like, my brain has learned that stuff, taken it in, locked it in place, and we're good. I know I'm cute, can't tell me nothing. Yes, I have resting bitch face, but I can still get friends. I know how to be friendly and approachable, and the right people for me will come to me, and I just genuinely believe that. And I think you can also get to a point of believing some great things about yourself, the way you look, the way you are, etc. But just being positive to yourself and just showing gratitude for the good things that come to you. You know, whenever I did make a friend, there was a conscious moment of being grateful, of like, so happy someone talked to me today. I really enjoyed that time that we had. That was great. And just giving your brain more positive input so that it can give you more positive output. The third thing that has really helped me in my depressed times, this was post-college when I was just having like seasonal depression for a couple of years after, and honestly it's kind of creeping back in on me this year. But it is connecting with nature and using mindfulness while you do it. I don't know if connecting with nature will be the way for everyone, but kind of just a way of shutting out the world, shutting out your thoughts, and just getting back to the very, very basics of life. And for me, I found hiking to be that girl. I hiked a lot my first year in California, aka my first year out of college, when my mental health was just barely starting to recover. And just being out, hearing the birds chirp, listening to leaves crunch, not just YouTube, Netflix, what's this person thinking? What am I doing? What do I look like? Other people are staring at me. Just me and trees. It just kind of gave. And those quiet moments, it really builds you up. So I would recommend getting into some practice of mindfulness and getting into some way of just disconnecting from the worries of the world, not in a like running away kind of way, but in a just taking a moment to recognize like life is quite simple. Like the things you're worried about do not matter in the grand scheme of the universe. I don't know how I can be worried about what the cashier at the grocery store thinks of me when I'm standing looking down from the top of a cliff. Like, I have bigger fish to fry. Like, that kind of thing of just reminding yourself, like, it's not that deep. This could be yoga, this could be meditation, this could be hiking, this could be taking walks, this could be listening to rain sounds before bed. It could be a lot of different things, but just find a way to kind of recenter the mind. The last one is like probably the most important, so I want to get a good camera angle for this one. I hope the lighting here is treating us well. The last thing that I think can really help you and really improve your life, that still continues to improve my life every day, is the true understanding and the true realization that anything that you want to do, to achieve anything, is very simple to get. It might not be easy, but it is usually very simple and almost always completely possible. It is doable. It is simple. You just have to do it. This realization really hit me after I moved to California and after everybody kept telling me like how brave and bold and wild and crazy I was for doing that. To me, it felt like it wasn't brave, wasn't bold, wasn't wild, wasn't crazy. I wanted to move, so I put my stuff in a suitcase. I took the suitcase somewhere else, and then I moved. It was quite simple. It was very easy, but I hear people sometimes discuss the parts about it that aren't easy, like having to leave behind everyone and everything you've ever known, and having to get acclimated in a new place, having to figure out the finances of a place that's expensive, etc. And while that's all valid, while that's all valid, it doesn't take away from the fact that moving is very simple. You put your stuff in the box and you take the box somewhere else and you've moved. And that state of whatever you want to do is simple to do can be applied to absolutely everything else that you want to do. If you want to make a career change, I'm not going to tell you that it's going to be super easy to do, but it's very simple. Learn the skills that you need to learn, apply to those jobs until you get one. You've made a career change. If you want to learn to do something really hard, like learn a new language. Again, it's hard. It's not easy just because it's simple, but it is simple. Sign up for a language class or buy like a language learning textbook, get through the material, and you've learned the language. Like, Maybe you have to practice speaking with some people. There might be a lot of steps, but they're simple steps. They're doable steps. They're things that are possible for you. Okay, my camera just shut off. I don't know when it stopped filming, but I do know I was telling you anything you want to achieve in life is simple. It might not be easy, but it's simple and it's usually possible. So just take that away as your last little learning chip for this video. Stop limiting yourself. The idea of, oh, I can't do that. Yes, you literally can. It's not even hard. It's very simple. You just have to figure out the step and then do the thing. And then you've done it. The last little tidbit that I want to give you guys is the advice to limit your multitasking. This is something that I'm still working on because, like I said in the beginning, I'm not perfect. This is something that I'm still getting together, but I have found that I give my brain too much of other people's information. I was talking earlier in the CBT phase about how what you give your brain is what it puts out. I give my brain too much YouTube, too much Netflix, too much consuming of other people's media, other people's ideas, other people's desires, other people's wants, other people's thoughts, other people's feelings. And my brain tries to transmute that into my own thoughts and my own feelings when they're not. They're not. I literally did this today. I would watch a YouTube video of like someone doing a career I have literally zero interest in. I watched a data scientist and I left that thinking, maybe I should learn SQL and become a data scientist. I don't want to do that. And I have found one way to kind of allow my brain some space to think its own thoughts is to not multitask all the time. To, when I'm washing dishes, just wash the dishes. No music in the background, no podcast, no, I'm not watching, just washing the dishes. When I take a shower, I just take a shower. Sometimes when I drive, I just drive. And it allows my brain to think its own independent thoughts. So I would recommend putting the scrolling down, putting your phone down, turning off the TV, don't call your friend. Just have some moments in the day where you just do things that you're doing. You just do that one thing. It can reteach your brain how to focus. It can reteach your brain how to think, and it can re-establish your own dominance over your life. I'm still working on that, like I said, but I think it's really started to help me in the past couple of months that I have been reducing the amount of multitasking that I do. So as you can see in my other videos, like a vlog I recently posted where I was kind of crashing out and I started therapy again, or in a sit-down chat that I had where I discussed my career confusion at my big age, I am not the perfect person. I don't have it all figured out, but figuring out the things that I discussed in this video have really improved my life over the years and really kept me from having to worry about things that would be a waste of my time to worry about. It's allowed me to move on to bigger and better, and I'm hoping you can take some of these tips into your life and move on to bigger and better as well. If you have any tips or ideas that I missed, I and everyone watching would love to see them in the comments. It can help us all elevate to that next step so that we can take our lives to the next level. I want to thank you guys for watching. Remind you to press subscribe because it really helps me and my channel out. And I've got to get back to work. So I will see you all in the next video. Until then, toodaloo.